What's going on, guys? On this episode of Fan Film Friday, I'm checking out Halloween 4 by CNT Films. If you're not familiar, they're an awesome film company who make great fan films. So far, I've reviewed parts 1, 2, and 3 of this Halloween series, and you can find links to all of these in the description box below. Anyway, head on over to their YouTube channel and check them out. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, on to the movie. It opens at Haddonfield Prison on October 30th. Maxwell Loomis from the previous film escapes and runs into town near a Dairy Queen. Meanwhile, Loomis's friend is walking into his apartment. He drinks an entire bottle of wine by himself while watching Scream. Literally, he drank the whole bottle. He then gets up and starts walking around the house with a gun and runs into Loomis, who's trying on his clothes for some reason. Loomis tells him that his whole purpose in life is to make sure Michael Myers doesn't kill anyone else on Halloween. Then they argue for a minute about taking Michael down, and Loomis's friend mentions wanting revenge against Michael too for nearly killing him. After that, we meet another guy who's doing laundry in his apartment building. He goes to use the elevator and runs into, guess who? Then, we meet a girl talking on the phone with her friend, which I'm guessing is in the same apartment building. As she's walking around the house, suddenly, Michael comes walking in. As to be expected, he finds the girl and chases her around. And finally, Michael catches up to her and engages her in a fight, ending with the girl getting stabbed a whole bunch. The next day, on Halloween, a blonde girl is leaving her house. She meets up with her friend, and Michael stalks them from a distance. Loomis calls his friend and tells him to meet him later that night. I guess they're going to go after Michael together. Then, for whatever reason, he parkours up to the top of his house. Then we see a guy working on his car in a garage when Michael shows up. The guy looks up for 1 second and Michael proceeds to smash his head in with a log. Really? A log? Come on. And then, of course, Michael steals the car. Loomis and his friend are talking, and Loomis pretty much gives his whole backstory and tells him why he's after Michael. After hearing this, his buddy gives him a vial of this liquid and says it should do the trick, which I'm guessing is either some kind of drug or maybe a tranquilizer. As that's going on, the two girls are discussing what they want to dress as for Halloween that night, and then they split up. We get the classic girl walking alone down the street scene, with Michael not too far behind. He's watching her from a nearby cemetery. She makes it home, but Michael is just standing outside. Then there's a brief radio broadcast of the murders that Michael just committed in the apartment building, and the guy says he's still at large. Loomis's friend arrives to look around, finding a body. And then the girl from earlier goes outside and finds the guy from the garage dead in a car. She sees Michael and runs directly into a cornfield, where of course she meets her demise. I mean, who would run into a cornfield? Come on. Later that night, a guy is at home when Michael shows up and chases him to the roof. A brief fight ensues, ending with the guy falling off the roof and hurting his ankle. He tries to crawl away, but that's not happening. Then, Michael walks in on a girl who's about to leave for a party. She runs away and traps herself inside a room where she finds another girl from earlier dead. All of a sudden, Michael breaks in and gives her a pitchfork to the stomach. Meanwhile, Loomis is walking around the street looking for Michael. It's pretty strange though, there's a lot of snow on the ground. I had no idea it snowed in October. Anyway, he finds his friend dying in a graveyard, who I guess just got stabbed by Michael. Then afterward, he goes after him, guns blazing. These two girls run up and steal a candy bowl from another little girl who's been trick-or-treating. What a bunch of assholes. They dump the candy out and are going through it, when Michael shows up and teaches them that stealing is bad. After dispatching both the girls, Loomis pops up and tranks Michael, knocking him out. He then dumps a bunch of gasoline all over him and burns him alive. Wow, what a way to go out. Then, out of nowhere, Loomis kills himself. The end. Well, what to say about this one? I've been watching these CNT Halloween films for quite a while now, and they've been getting progressively better. They're doing really well with production, and the storyline was pretty good, and I like the whole Maxwell Loomis concept. The only thing I didn't get in this one, if I'm being honest, is there was a lot of characters to follow, and it was hard to kind of keep track of who was who. Aside from that, it was good. But also, I'm kind of wondering why Loomis killed himself. His whole purpose in life was just to kill Michael, and that was it. Anyway, if you want to see this one for yourself, head on over to CNT's YouTube channel and check him out. And remember, give him a like and subscribe. Well, guys, that does it for this episode of Fan Film Friday. If you liked what you saw, give me a like and subscribe for more. And also, while I got you here, head on over to my new YouTube channel, Chris Hollywood Productions, where you can find full seasons of Fan Film Friday. There's all sorts of different fan films to check out, so head on over there and take a look. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.